WOI-TV 35th Anniversary Show 2820.
Right. Waiting for cue. Go ahead, Dick.
Welcome to 5TV's 35th anniversary celebration. And now, here's your host for this evening, WOI's Public Affairs Coordinator, Betty Lou Varnum.
"35 years ago today, February 21st, 1950, WOI-TV went on the air as the second television station in Iowa and the first in central Iowa. People stood outside television stores just to watch our test pattern. The Des Moines newspaper devoted practically its whole issue on February 21st to WOI-TV and to our plans for the future. We went on the air that day with only slides and film. No television cameras, those came later. Programs were carried from all networks, ABC, NBC, CBS, and the now defunct Dumont Network. From these, we picked and chose our programming, frequently preempting all four, to carry our own locally produced programs, such as Magic Window, now the longest-running locally produced children's show in the country. One of the first major series done at WOI-TV was The Whole Town's Talking. The sets were made in our scene shop and were reproductions of the actual meeting rooms found in towns throughout central Iowa. This series won several awards, including the prestigious Sylvania Award. It presented issues that were important in the various communities in our viewing area and began a tradition of community service which continues to this very day.
This is the Guthrie County Courthouse, erected 70 years ago in 1882. Tonight, in this courtroom, before the eyes of the television cameras and the entire 250,000 viewing audience of WOI-TV, leading citizens of Guthrie County have come together to talk over a serious problem. Their county needs a new courthouse. No one knows this fact better than these men. They are Guthrie County's Board of Supervisors. They have the power to raise the money for a new courthouse.
Another award-winning series was In Our Care. These were programs which grew out of an idea brought to WOI-TV by the Iowa Board of Control and out of the lives of the blind, the orphaned, the elderly, retired soldiers, the retarded, and felons, all people housed in 17 institutions under the jurisdiction of the state of Iowa. This particular program concerned the facilities in Glenwood, housing many of Iowa's retarded citizens.
You try not to show it, but one of your hardest tasks is what you have just done. You have just told a mother that she should give up her child. She should give up her child because it is hopelessly feeble-minded.
To find out why the doctor in our opening scene felt as he did, let's look in on one of our state institutions for the mentally deficient children, the one at Glenwood, Iowa. The Glenwood State School is located in the southwest corner of Iowa in Mills County. It was in 1876 that the state of Iowa first dedicated this institution to the care and training of those who were then called feeble-minded. In those early years, there were only about 300 mentally deficient children living on those grounds. Today, this is a city of almost 2,000 children.
This is 1950, and this is the Visha Parade. WOI-TV had rented a television camera and remote truck in order to provide live coverage of the parade. The remote truck not only televised the parade, but became part of it as they joined in at the end in order to move more quickly through the crowds on their way to cover the baseball game in the afternoon. You can just see it coming into view now. If you will notice, the director, the producer, the commentators, and the cameraman, along with one lone camera, were on top of the truck. The necessary electronic gear was inside. We have broadcast every Visha Parade since then, and we'll do it again this year. We hope you'll watch. Among the nationally known figures WOI-TV carried during the early years were Dwight and Mamie Eisenhower, who were making a campaign sweep through the Midwest with stops in Ames and Boone. This was prior to the 1952 election, and we also covered his running mate, Richard M. Nixon.
Out in California, we've got 3 million Democrats and 2 million Republicans. And if it weren't for the fact that almost 1 million Democrats voted for me when I ran for the United States Senate in 1950, I wouldn't be here today as a candidate for the Vice Presidency of the United States. Let me tell you, incidentally, as I mentioned the Democrats, that I want to make my position absolutely clear in respect to them. I have nothing against the Democrats. As a matter of fact, I can prove it. I love the Democrats. I married one. Pat was a Democrat when I married her.
WOI Radio had covered sports at Iowa State. So did WOI-TV, with farm director and sports commentator Dale Williams, shown here with Harry Burrell, doing the play-by-play. These are members of the first Russian farm delegation to visit Iowa. They came to Ames, and here they watch a WOI-TV telecast of reactions to their visit.
Sure, we're pleased about it.
How do you feel about their coming here?
Well, I think it's all right. I think we should try to be friendly with them, and if we're friendly, well, maybe they'll be friendly in return.
How about you, sir? How do you feel about it?
I think it's one of the finest things that we could do. They'll understand us, and we understand them, and do that kind of work. We can build up friendship instead of enmity, and I think it's one of the greatest pieces of work to bring an understanding between them and between us. And I can't think of nothing good, nothing but good will come out of this.
Do you think you learned anything this morning?
They're people like we are.
One of WOI-TV's most shocking programs to our viewers was the program on the Southeast Bottoms. That's a section of Des Moines only a few blocks away from the state capitol building. For the poor, winter is the most difficult time of the year. Few of the houses in the Southeast Bottoms have basements. This means that most of the houses are heated with space heaters. It means that the threat of fire is a very real danger indeed. "78% of the houses here do not have indoor plumbing. For those of you who may not recognize it, this is an outhouse. "50 families in the Bottoms daily come to this watering trough for their drinking water. This is the early American traditional sculpture referred to recently by one of the Des Moines city councilmen. It's a part of the daily life of some families in the Bottoms. WOI-TV's 35th anniversary show will continue after these messages. Welcome back to WOI-TV's 35th anniversary show. The early years of WOI-TV were also the early years of rock and roll. 17 was among the first of the teenage dance programs which featured the youth of this period, their styles, their music, and their dances.
It's Saturday night, time for 17, survey proved Iowa's most popular teenage dance show. Pull up an easy chair or roll up the rug. We're set for 90 minutes of teenage fun. Now, here they are, your masters of teenage entertainment, Dick Green, Ron Scott, Liz Dwight, and Betty Lou McVeigh.
Betty told Dupree, I want a diamond ring. Lord, Betty told Dupree, I want a diamond ring. And let's go strolling
Politics has always been a major source of programming for television, with election campaigns, state and national legislative coverage, and occasionally a political scandal. Let's look back briefly at the Army McCarthy hearings.
It is therefore the purpose of this investigation to make a full and impartial effort to reveal that which is true and to expose that which is false with respect to said charges and countercharges.
The cast of characters was large and included some of the most influential men of the day. Senator McCarthy, the junior senator from Wisconsin, and his chief protagonist, Joseph Welch, witty, clever, very adept at pressing the Army's charges.
Did you realize when you took that oath that you were making a solemn promise to tell the whole truth to this committee?
I understand the oath, Mr. Welch.
And when you took it, did you have some mental reservation, some Fifth or Sixth Amendment notion that you could measure what you would tell?
I don't take the Fifth or Sixth Amendment.
Have you some private reservation when you take the oath that you will tell the whole truth that lets you be the judge of what you will testify to?
The answer is there's no reservation about telling the whole truth.
Thank you, sir. Then tell us who delivered the document to you.
The answer is no. You will not get that information.
You wish then to put your own interpretation on your oath and tell us less than the whole truth?
Mr. Welch, I think I've made it very clear to you that neither you nor anyone else will ever get me to violate the confidence of loyal people in this government who give me information about communist infiltration. I repeat, you will not get their names. You will not get any information which will allow you to identify them so that you or anyone else can get their job. You can go right ahead and try until doomsday.
Evidence of our changing political climate was the 1959 visit to the United States by Soviet Premier Nikita Khrushchev. He came to Iowa State University with the largest security contingent in history. His tour began at the swine nutrition farms south of Ames.
As Mr. Khrushchev visits the various buildings and the various swine pens and the exhibits here, what it is that the chairman will see. The official car has just arrived. You can see on your screen, Chairman Khrushchev is being greeted by officials of Iowa State University. Also in the picture is Henry Cabot Lodge, the ambassador to the United Nations, and the usual cluster of press photographers, motion picture photographers, around Mr. Khrushchev.
And then, of course, the contingent came to the Home Economics building so that the Premier and his wife could tour the Home Economics facilities.
Here you see Chairman Khrushchev greeting Dean LeBaron. Dean LeBaron of the Home Economics Division will take Mr. Khrushchev waving to our cameras. Looks a bit tired from a rough trip that he's had today. Madam Khrushcheva, Mrs. Hilton following behind. They will go downstairs to one of the classrooms. We say one of many classrooms in the lower wing of the Home Economics building.
Iowa 2000 was a one-hour special produced in 1974 that focused on the future of Iowa. Topics relating to agriculture, industry, and the Iowa economy were closely examined in an attempt to predict where we were heading by the year 2000. Harry Reisner, then with ABC, came back to his home state of Iowa to host this program, which also featured Governor Robert D. Ray as a guest and supporter of the program's purpose. It should be mentioned that WOI-TV is unique as a television station in that we have a dual responsibility. Now, of course, we are dedicated to providing you, the viewer, with the news, public affairs, and entertainment programming that you've come to expect. And in addition to this, WOI-TV has always provided instructional television support to Iowa State University, to the Cooperative Extension Service, and we provide a professional facility for training telecommunicative arts and journalism students. In order to fulfill these responsibilities, WOI-TV does its best to keep current with the state-of-the-art television technology. To serve you better, is one of the reasons that we constructed a new 2,000-foot tower in 1971. Here you see what the view of central Iowa looks like as you travel up this tower. Up to now, we've been looking at our first 25 years. After these messages, we'll look at the last 10 years. In the preceding segments, you've seen a brief history of how WOI-TV served central Iowa from 1950 to 1975. The period from 1975 to the present finds WOI-TV continuing that service. During the last 10 years, WOI-TV has met its responsibility to grow not only physically, but also technically, with one purpose in mind: to serve you, the viewing public of central Iowa. In 1975, WOI-TV acquired this, the first ENG, or electronic news gathering equipment, in the Des Moines market. Cameras, recorders, and tapes made it possible to bring the news to you as fast as it happened. The first major undertaking with this new ENG equipment was the World Food Conference in 1976. When nations from all over the world convened in Ames, Iowa to study and discuss the world food problems, WOI-TV was there. With this conference, a challenge was made very clear that the broadcast industry had to change, to leave the studios and to go where the people were and where events were taking place. If the industry was to meet this challenge, going to the public was of prime concern. 5TV met this challenge head on. WOI-TV began carrying live, on location, an annual event that has become an institution in Iowa, the Variety Club Telethon, an outpouring of Iowans' love for their children. In 1978, WOI-TV established a Des Moines News Bureau, and in so doing, continued its tradition of bringing current news to you, the viewers. Also in that year, you may have seen this mobile van on the highways of Iowa. It was fully equipped for any and all field productions. And from this van came such presentations as Iowa Edition, a public affairs program dealing with rural concerns, economic development, problems of the elderly, problems of the inner city, and other metropolitan concerns, plus various other timely and interesting topics. Another program dedicated to showing Iowans proud of their communities was A Place to Grow. WOI-TV found that communities like Jefferson, Story City, Eldora, Perry, and Hampton were growing and developing. The evidence was in front of our cameras. In 1979, WOI-TV's mobile capabilities became part of history when in October of that year, Pope John Paul II came to an Irish settlement in central Iowa to a little church called St. Patrick's, where you, along with millions of people all over the world, saw WOI-TV's product. In October of 1980, our cameras covered the Farm Progress Show held near Nevada, Iowa. The product that day was microwaved back to Ames and delivered to your homes. This was WOI-TV's first microwave endeavor, and this procedure has been an integral part of our services to you ever since. As early as 1980, WOI-TV began bringing you, the viewers, live news reports from the Des Moines office. With the advent of the Des Moines office, stationary microwave capabilities became a reality, and WOI-TV served its viewers with immediate reactions to important news stories. 5TV continued its tradition of being first in the field of broadcast electronic techniques when in 1981 it broadcast the first NCAA college football game ever originated by a local television station via satellite. By using the Westar satellite system, WOI-TV brought the Iowa State, San Diego State football game to Cyclone fans all over the state. It was made possible because of equipment like this Earth receiving station. This Earth station can receive programming material from over 20 various satellites, all of which makes your television viewing better. In 1982, the mobile van was converted into a mobile news unit, outfitted with portable microwave equipment. This additional news capability made it possible to bring the news to you as it was happening, live from the spot. In the past several years, WOI-TV has tested its technical skills to the fullest. We have presented you with more and better news from our newly expanded Des Moines office. Via satellite, we covered Governor Branstad's opening of Iowa's Foreign Trade Office in Hong Kong, China. Last summer, several new projects were added to further serve the people of Iowa. WOI-TV began sponsoring the finals of the Soapbox Derby in central Iowa. We also began televising the Iowa State Fair Parade and will be doing so again this summer and in the years to come. Additional news coverage was presented in the form of live reports from the national political conventions in San Francisco, California, and Dallas, Texas. Live satellite reports and interviews with Washington, D.C. are an everyday news tool. Over the years, this television station has become your station. It has grown from a small operation into a large and important force serving Iowans throughout the state. In a moment, we will look into WOI-TV's plans for the future. You've looked at some of our yesterdays. Here we are today. Now, what about tomorrow? For a view of the future, a man who was here on that day 35 years ago when we went on the air, Keith Ketchum, now General Manager of WOI-TV, AM and FM. Keith?
During the past several years, we've tried harder than ever to respond to those activities that are supportive and meaningful to you, our audience. This year, we approach our 11th year in presenting Iowa's only locally produced telethon. WOI-TV will present it Saturday and Sunday, March 2nd and 3rd. The Visha Parade, the State Fair Parade, the Soapbox Derby, and the Community Betterment Program represent some of the outstanding activities we support and in which we participate. We will continue to support these activities and to expand in other activities in the future. Satellite technology will serve you, our audience, by shrinking the dimensions of the state, the nation, and the world, allowing us to bring the best the world has to offer in entertainment, news, and public affairs events, whether across the street or from the far side of the globe. WOI-TV has through the years been a leader in the use of these technologies to serve you, and we will continue to do so. When major problems confront you, we will continue to investigate those problems to allow you to better understand the issues involved. Hopefully, through a better understanding, you can take part in effecting a solution to these problems. All of this is pointed towards generating a better community in which to live and work.
Thank you, Keith. Thank you very much. 35 years, that's a lot to put in half an hour. But year 36, here we come.
It's only the beginning.
And for us, the future begins now. Thank you very much for being with us.